How you doing, guys? It's Kevin. A lot of people asked for me to set the Runaway camper up and show you what setup I have. So that's what I've done today. I've set everything up, and I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like about the Runaway camper, and I'm going to tell you what needs to be improved on my end, what I've done so far to the camper. So we'll give you guys a little tour, look around and see how everything looks, and then like I said, I'll try to explain to you what I think needs fixed and what I don't like about the camper. Let's go, let's get it done. Now this is just a look at the whole setup. I have the little utility thing there that I put my commode in, and I don't have a shower yet, but I plan on getting one. It's just set up. It's not all tied down, but it is set up. There's the canopy. That canopy is a 10 by 10, and there's the name of it. It's a Sportcraft. It's a nice canopy. I actually picked it up at Sears. I got it at Sears. Actually, I got a pretty good deal on it. They were selling out at the end of the year, so if you want one of these, definitely at the end of the year you want to go look and see what they have left over, because they'll sell them cheap. And then we got our nice little chairs here, and then our cooker here. I really haven't cooked on it because when we weren't camping, we were traveling. So you know, traveling and camping's two different things. I didn't even get the chance to put my canopy up. Now the porch light, you remember the little utility porch light or universal porch light? This thing worked great. It was beautiful because I could stick it on the back of the camper. I could put it over here. I could move it around. I'm actually going to put a piece of Velcro up in the top right here, and I can turn it on and off from inside. If you watched how it was wired up, I got a switch inside. I can turn it on and off, and it worked out real good. So and my little screen, this little screen, now it's a little, it'll stick together. I got it just Velcroed on the inside, but if you shut that screen, that thing is a lifesaver. We were around a lot of water, a lot of mosquitoes and different things, bugs, and that kept all the bugs out of the camper. That is something you need to have on your camper. It wasn't hard to make. Go ahead and get you one of these, cut it down and put it on. That definitely was great. Okay, the rug storage worked real good. You can see I don't have a huge rug down there, but it's plenty big enough to take your shoes off so you can get into the camper. The rug storage, the tool worked good. One thing I want to say about leveling the camper up, I bought these chocks right here. These are just chocks to put under the wheels. Now, they do make one that you can drive up on. And while I was out there, I thought I could drive a little bit up on these, and you can't. So a good thing, I had actually took some chunks of wood with me, and I laid them down sort of like so, and I would drive my tire up on that, and then that would level me out. I was glad I wasn't too much further in that off, and whichever campground I went to was actually pretty level, so I didn't have to go any more than that, and I drove the tire up on it. So it was a good thing I took these. So I'm going to look into having a bigger one that'll go under the tire so I can run up on it, and then I can eliminate these. So that's one thing definitely needs improved, the chocks. I need to do something with them chocks. Now the cooler, I did a review on the cooler. Everybody wants to give me, you know, hey, you tell me I shouldn't have threw it in the back of the truck with the bed liner, but I'm going to tell you something. That's where I had to put it, and a lot of people are going to put it in there. So I did the review. I'm not saying it's a bad cooler. It's an excellent cooler. The third day, the water was still cool. So what I did is I dumped the water out and put the ice back in there, and I got about 3 days out of it. But I still had, that third day, I still wanted to change the ice in it. So that's worst case scenario for your cooler. Cooler's good. I'm okay with a cooler. Now, we come over here to the where I put the small cord on here that goes up to the antenna. I found out that a lot of places where we went camping, they had cable. Hey, if you're going to give me cable with my site, I want it. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that, and I'll get more stations. So this cord, I need to have a longer one. I need a 25 footer or a 20 footer. because a couple places I had to park really close to the box in order for that to hook up. So that's one thing I definitely have to do. Definitely a longer cord. Now the roof vent. I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that roof vent. I went through some severe storms. That roof vent was open. With that housing, that cover on there, I got absolutely no rain inside of my camper. The roof vent was open when I was in them storms. So, and it worked out really good. The solar panels, the solar panel I put up there, I never run low on juice. I mean, it always had a power in there. Of course, I have no way of telling exactly how much I had, but the nights I stayed in it, there was one night we stayed in it and had no power, and it ran everything, you know, like a fan all night long, so I didn't have any problem with it. And the chuck box on the back, the chuck box worked out great. This thing didn't wiggle, it didn't move around, it did absolutely nothing but ride along there and do what it was supposed to do. So the chuck box, great little thing to have. Okay, I'll give you guys a little shot of the potty, which the potty worked out really good. The potty worked out real good, and this is a nice place to have it if, you know, if you're out, but and you set this thing up. But the thing's got a place to put a shower in there. We don't have a shower yet, but we plan on getting one. It worked out really good. Now, most of the nights, we just left the potty inside the camper, and my wife, she would just use it in the camper, and she just used, you know, you gotta pee, and I understand women gotta pee a lot, so that's where we put it. Okay, now I'm gonna talk to you just a little bit about the inside of the camper. Now, this little screen, you remember how we made this, is we could just take it and pull it down and move it right off to the side, because I want to talk to you about the inside of the camper. Now, what I haven't said to you or talked to you about is a heater. I have this little heater. I actually found it. It was thrown away, and it works really good. One night we got down in the 50s, and it was really cold, and it was actually chilly in the camper. I turned this little thing on as low as it would go, and I'm telling you, it was really nice in the camper. It worked really well. Okay, that's one thing you probably need to get, is a small heater. Now, I know that's not going to work off grid, but if you're at a campground and you need a little bit of heat, that thing worked really well for me. So now we're going to talk to you a little bit about the bed that we made. You remember the bed that was built in 3 pieces. Okay, now we noticed when we moved around in here with this linoleum on the floor, this bed would keep going apart. It would come apart like that, and it was just a pain. So we're going to have to find out something to do with these panels to keep them together. It's really hard. And I'm going to tell you guys, this camper is small. That's 4 foot wide. I'm a pretty big guy, and I like to move around. So my wife would sleep with her head up there, and I would sleep with my head down here next to the door. And that's how we slept. Like it or not, that's just how we did it. And we don't mind, you know, sleeping like that. So, and we slept pretty comfortable, but I'm going to tell you, it's tight in here. There's no doubt that it ain't tight in here, because it is tight. But it's a place to sleep. Now, let's talk a little bit about the TV. The TV, I love the TV. Like I said, we had cable at some places. Some places we didn't have cable. So we used a TV. And I'm not going to lie to you. There was only one place I only got 3 channels, and they come in just as clear as that. The 3 channels that I did get. Some of the places I had went actually got one place I got 46 stations on this thing. And it was better than cable as far as I was concerned. But this TV was a blessing. I love the TV. It worked great. Just we need a longer cable for it. That cable was definitely too short. Definitely got to get a longer cable. So that's the TV, and it does work nice. That's just on the antenna. I have no electricity hooked up to this thing. It's just running off the battery. Let me turn that thing off. It does work good. Anyhow, so I had actually bought a little fan, a 12-volt fan that I would hook up here. And if my wife, she didn't want the vent fan working, I could tilt that down on me and keep me cool. If I needed it, I had it. Let me see what else. Anyhow, let's see. Everything worked out pretty good in here. But like I said, the bed's definitely going to have to be worked on. And we should have took it out because we found out that the pillow that we had, she couldn't sleep on the pillows because they were too firm. They were too hard. So we ended up having to stop and get a pillow at Walmart for her to sleep on. So, and that worked out good. The inside of the camper. Every single morning we got up, these walls were pretty much, they had moisture on them. They have moisture on the walls, and that's condensation from us breathing in here. And we did have the fan, or the vent open. We didn't have the fan on because it was chilly. But you know, when I took off driving, what I would do is I would leave that vent open and then open the window, and it would dry it out real good in there. But it did get a lot of moisture, so air is a big thing for these campers. You want to keep air circulating through them. You will have that moisture. Now, back to the cooler. I put the cooler in the back of the truck. And the reason why I put the cooler in the back of the truck is because I didn't take the camper every place I went. But I always took the truck so it would have our drinks in there. So the cooler actually stayed in the back of the truck. So I'm going to probably mount another one of those boxes like I have for the Chuck box. Right here in the middle. I'm going to mount one of them boxes, and then I'm going to put another battery like that on the other side of this. That way I could take some of the storage from inside the camper and put it outside in that box. That'll give me more storage, and just keep the cooler in the back of my truck. That's the best place for it. I got it with me all the time. I do want to mention one more thing. Inside the camper here, we actually would like to put another shelf right in here, right to the bottom of that there, to the wall. I don't want to close that off there, but I do think I'm going to put another shelf in there because we could have had a lot more storage up in this area that there was nothing. We could have had more storage up here. So I'm going to mount another shelf in there. I might even make it go around the corner a little bit. I'm not sure, but we'll see. What, you know, I'll just see what happened, because that was dead space that we could have used for storage. Well, that was a quick look at the camper and how I have the setup for everything. It seemed to work out good, but I still have bugs to work out. And we're going to be doing that, and then we're probably going to take another trip, and we're thinking about going down to Cass, West Virginia. They have train rides. And we'd never rode on a train, so we thought maybe we'd go down there. So if you guys have any suggestions for me on my way down, that would be great. You know, the camping trip that we had just taken was a very good camping trip. A lot of people thought we were miserable, but we weren't really miserable. The first day was a little rough, but we actually had a good time. Our thing is we like to travel. We just don't know how to do it. You know, that was the first time I ever went out and did anything like that. So I do know not to go on a holiday. I do know try to stay away from the weekends. I learned a lot from that trip, and that was okay. And we still had some fun. We went to some great places there. The changing of the guards was really good. I think you guys would all love watching that in person. The Flight 93, that was a very emotional place. There were some parts that I wouldn't even put on my video because they were so sad, and I just couldn't do it. So, you know, if you get a chance, go there. You know, you can feel the souls of the people are there, and it's very emotional. So pay your respects and go check it out. It's a nice, beautiful place. You know, I don't really know what else to tell you, but you know, I'm learning every step of the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, and definitely leave me some comments. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I get probably 3 or 4 pages a day, and I try to keep up with them. It's really getting hard now to keep up with the comments, but I'll do my best. Even if I tell you thanks, I'll do my best. Till next time.